No, don't stop. I can't shackle me once. It's welcome back to Talk today. It's 8:47 now. She's tread the boards, waltzed on the dance floor and given a fair share of tens to trembling contestants. And now Shirley Ballas has turned her talent to writing crime fiction and being interviewed by me.
And Shirley Ballas is in the studio here with us. Shirley, what inspired you to start writing? You're so talented in so many areas, and here's another string to your bow.
Well, I've always liked to write, and when I wrote my autobiography, I couldn't fit the stories in it that I wanted to, or they weren't acceptable to go in an autobiography. So my mum had this idea, why don't you write a fiction novel? Bring some of those stories in where the audience can guess, did she take part in it? Did she witness it? Or is it fiction? So,
I mean, it's quite sleazy, this, isn't it, Shirley? Come on, let's be honest.
Sleazy, raunchy.
Behind the scenes...
It's Jilly Cooper of dance, isn't it?
Behind the scenes, you know, it's all a little bit more sinister. You know yourselves, it's very competitive, the ballroom industry. There's a lot of backstabbing, bed-hopping, sex, lies, intrigue, you name it, manipulation. People basically will do what they need to do to get where they need to go.
It's just like being here.
So,
it's like being at TalkTV.
I didn't say a word.
So I thought it would be nice with a nice plot and some beautiful ballroom dancing and characters that maybe, you know, people might recognise, might not recognise. I play Lily, I'll tell you that, I play Lily, and have Susie Cooper is my detective who helps me solve these crimes.
Fabulous.
Allegedly, it's going to be a massive success. Murder on the dance floor. That took a lot of time. Shirley, let's talk. let's talk, because what people won't know is that this is a completely fabricated voice, because you're a Scouser girl at heart, aren't you?
Well, I come from the north, I come from Wirral, but I can do a really good Liverpool accent.
I want Shirley Ballas to do the rest of this interview. Red or blue?
I'm red.
Good girl, that's fantastic.
Amazing.
Let's just have a talk about, I mean, Strictly, and one of the things about Strictly Come Dancing is it transcends, I think, every age range, every demographic. It is staple Saturday night television, and to be the head judge on that, it's pretty phenomenal.
Well, the whole show is just an enigma to me. It's unbelievable. The amount of messages I get this week. I can have the grandpa doing the chop-cha with his wife, or I can have the babies out there giving a bit of shake and bake. So, you know, people can stay home, they can order their pizza, they can have their glass or whatever they want to and enjoy it as a family. And I think it's just transcended over 21 years now. People look forward to it. It's still about 50 to 52% share of the TV, so it's, you know, it's well-watched. That's not
She's well rehearsed in that, isn't
playing
she?
back, you know, it's just that kind of show. It's fantastic.
And as a sandgronan, somebody who comes from Blackpool...
A what?
Sandgronan.
You've grown in the sand?
Yes, that's what we call
And I'm a
thrown in the
woolly
sand.
Grand Sonan and a woolly back.
Is that what someone from the Wirral is? Amazing. So Blackpool Week is such a big deal. It's such a big deal for all audience who watch Strictly. But for people in Blackpool gets a bit of a tough time in the press often, so it's often for good reasons. But we are so proud of when Strictly comes to town and dazzles everybody.
Have you been?
No, I've never been there.
I
want
get
a
a ticket.
Get me a ticket.
Well, I've been going there since I was 7 years old. It's the hub of ballroom dancing. You run the major championships in the world at the Winter Gardens and the Tower Ballroom. And I know a lot of people there. And for me, it is home. It is home of the ballroom community. And that's why I set my crime novel in Blackpool at
Murder
the
on the
Tower.
dance floor.
And nobody
the
guesses the
background.
murderer, by the way.
I will.
So, OK.
Read the last page.
I'm going to...
Read the last
Jeremy
page. What are you
Kyle.
talking
I'm gonna
about?
hold you
It
to
was
that,
David.
Jeremy.
There we go. That was fun. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions you would expect. It's so lovely to have you on, and I really appreciate it. Best judge you ever worked with?
Best judge I ever worked with? Well, I have a very soft spot for Bruno.
Worst?
I don't have a worst, because they're all fabulous. Anton de Beek is amazing.
He is good, isn't he? Good golfer,
very
by the
good.
way. Anton de Beek.
Good golfer. 35 years I've known him. He's no different now to when he walked in my studio 35 years ago.
And the contestants, I'm a bit like this with I'm a Celebrity. I always go, I'm not going to watch it, I'm bored of this. And then you get dragged in.
Oh, you get reeled
You
in.
really do. And Strictly is, I mean, it is staple, isn't it? Who's going to win this year? In your opinion?
I'm not going to give you an opinion,
Come
Jeremy,
on.
but what I will predict is that one day you're going to put your cha-cha shoes on and do it. That's what I'm going to
Darling,
predict.
listen to me. There is no chance that Jeremy Kyle could even get them.
I want to see a wiggle and a jiggle and a love. Actually, you have
I haven't got a lot to wiggle anymore.
You have a beautiful shoulder line as a ballroom dancer.
Oh, yeah?
And beautiful posture. So I think it
Unlike
could be
you
quite
at
nice.
slouching. See, Mrs. Kyle, Shirley My wife said to me the other day, our son started to dance, and she said, "Oh my God, he's even more uncoordinated than you." This is my wife. Please bring the book home, babe. I'll take it on holiday. I love Shirley Ballas.
Oh.
It's just embarrassing. Please don't do Strictly, you idiot. You look like an idiot. There you are. So
There you go.
Well, I think you'd be very good.
That's Vic saying no.
I can't dance, though. Can you dance?
But that's exactly why we have the show, so that you can get on there, get your twinkle shoes on, and we will teach you how to dance. Come on now.
That's the whole point of it.
Well,
I'm a rubbish dancer, but I've always been so I'm so impressed at how professional they end up being. Even,
we have the best in the world professionals
Yeah.
training the celebrities.
And I've got to say, I'm 7 months pregnant, my first child. You're expecting your sixth child.
All right, OK.
Well, you're not going to give birth to it. You're about to become not a grandma, but...
A grandma, and it's
A
imminent.
grandma. I love it.
It's my first grandchild.
Amazing.
My son lives in LA, and I am more than excited.
Are
Can't
you?
wait.
Are you going to go over and visit? Or
I will
what's the
go
plans?
over and visit. I'll leave on a Sunday. I'll be back by a Friday.
And you talked also, and I think we need to touch upon this, we've talked about the new book, Murder on the Dance, we've talked about Strictly. You've been very honest about a lot of online abuse. You've been very honest about how your partner, Danny Taylor, has been supportive in that. And online abuse is something we seem to talk about all the time, be it, you know, misinformation. We were talking about the horrible crisis in the Middle East, what's being said online, the personal attacks. I can sit here and not take the other view because people will say, come on, just don't read it. But it's impossible not to do that when you're at a certain stage of your life. The first thing we all do of a morning is look at the phones. What would your advice be to people who go through that, be they in the public eye or not? Because you had a really torrid time, didn't you?
I've had a torrid time. This year's been great because I've hired somebody, Harry, his name is, to siphon through. So Saturdays and Sundays, he goes through everything. So I don't really see that terrible mail that I got last year. But I would say to people, well, for me particularly, you know, I deal with CALM, Campaign Against Living Miserably, the charity. It's huge in my life. And I don't want to not read it because there's a lot of people that I've been able to help direct in the right way. So for the tiny amount of people that give me really terrible abuse, there's hundreds of thousands of people who appreciate the work that you do.
Yes.
So I guess it's just taking the good comments on board and putting aside and I feel always a little bit sorry. I used to give them 3 chances, you know, and often they would come round because I used to think to myself, what kind of day are they having? You know, I lost my brother to suicide, so I always think about what kind of day are they having to be able to put that on me.
Exactly. What kind of misery is going on in someone else's life that they would want to put that on another person?
And you're nicer than me, both of you, but how small-minded and ridiculous are they to say vile things because they hide behind keyboards? Of course, in essence, you shouldn't give a damn about that. Working with CALM, by the way, fantastic charity. Well done.
Thank you.
So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Shirley Ballas, Murder on the Dance Floor, is going to sign a copy to my daughter, my wife, Vic. Can you do that?
I certainly can.
Fantastic.
Thank you, and thanks for coming to join us. You look
so
wonderful.
I'll do it if you offer me enough money. There, I've said it. Imagine me and see. I'm quite into that now.
I do not.
I am going to do it. Look at this. Look. Oh, yeah. Shirley's brought it out in me, baby. Can you imagine JK on Strictly? I'd be crap.
I don't want to imagine the visuals.
Would you not be in the front row with your baby?
Yeah, I would be there cheering you on.
Thank you, Shirley.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Lots